Welcome to Metallurium Pages. Sarp, it's a great pleasure to talk with you about bipolar architecture, this new album Metaphysicit, and more things related to the metal world in general. So we started by asking how are you doing today? How is the band in the last couple of years? Because your previous album, Depression Land, was released in 2022.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're playing some shows actually recently with The Ocean from our label also, which we released our second album after Depression Land this year earlier, actually in February.
Mhm.
So after that, we've been touring and we made one run with The Ocean in September. We joined them for some European shows, around 10 shows. And now we are also playing together. We played in Helsinki like a couple of days ago, and we play in Bucharest together. Then we have one show in Athens. So busy, let's say, these days, which is good.
Hmm. Okay. So, talking about from this new album, when do you start writing songs for this new one? Are all the songs new, or do you rescue any composition that were out from the previous album, from the Prison Land?
Hmm. No, all new songs after that, like another phase. And yeah, I mean, it took a year almost to finish all of them, I guess, in every details.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's
Oh,
completely different than the first album. Like, I mean, not completely different by writing wise. So it's another focus.
okay. So your debut album received great reviews. After such a successful debut,
Yeah.
do you feel any pressure to surpass what do you did on the Prison Land with this second album? Have you there any been any chance in have there any chance in your songwriting process compared to your debut?
Yeah, of course. In my thinking is like in every album you need to surpass the previous one, so it should be a bit better than that. I mean, better is of course relative, but for me at least. But yeah, it's a bit different approach, and also this time the drums were different because of our drummer Fatih joined after Depression Land, and he recorded the second album. That's for me like shows some change, more groovy and more energetic. So it affects the songs also, of course.
Mm.
I
Oh,
would say a bit different. Yeah,
okay, nice. So many bands and musicians see each album as a child. Each one is special in its own way. So what
yeah.
makes this album special to you, and what that is bringing us musically and lyrically?
Yeah, lyrically, it's like a continuation of the first album. The first album is about telling the depression and all the states of mind. But the next album is taking this and going to like the next step. What do we do with this information? And yeah, I mean, of course, the second album, also the sophomore album, is always more mature somehow for every band, I think. That's why it's a bit more special for me. Of course, the first one is also like the child, you say, but
Mm.
I think the last one is always more precious for the bands.
Hmm.
The last thing
Okay.
they did.
Well, yeah, you're right on that. You're right. So now, how do you choose the name of your album? It's a random, or do you try to convey something that encompasses with the concept of the entire album? Because the name of the album is not a common one.
Mhm. Yeah, I've been thinking on this subject for a long time, all my life, I would say. So, as I say, the first album, Depression Land, is like the state you are in or you were in. And the second one is like to act a bit, so to metaphysicize, is telling more about the metaphysic part of the things. That's why, yeah. And I choose, of course, like I always try to choose a title name which is not there already, or which is not like it should be unique for me. That's why.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. So now the album has more than more. Let's talk in. How do you feel the reception of your fans to this new album has been so far? What have been the reviews like? Do you usually read reviews or criticism that are uploaded online? And how do you take these new reviews for this for the your last album?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, we had lots of reviews, but also we were like in lots of printed magazines here in Europe, like Metal Hammer and Rock Hard. So there were like really good things, and in radios, and most of the comments are very good by fans. So they understood what we are trying to do from the first album to the second album, I would say. Of course, there are different opinions, like for example, like some clean vocals will do, or like this kind of stuff. Of course, we think of everything, and for the third album already we are writing, and it's like almost done. I would say 70%. And we of course add some new elements, but keeping the atmosphere still don't change that much.
Okay, interesting to know. Interesting. And now, what kind of plans, or what are the plans of what kind of plans do you have for bipolar architecture? This new album. How is now the
Mhm.
plan promotion for the next year? Because we are end of the year. So,
Yeah.
in perhaps you will involve some tours there, some gigs there. You have more proposals, or perhaps you are already working on a new album. Who knows?
Yeah, like this will take a while for sure, the new album announcement, but we like to get ready a bit beforehand. For this year, I think we will play mostly live as much as we can, where we can, and like in more territories that we haven't been before. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we will work on the album, and I think the early 2026, maybe something like this. I think it will be released then. So this
Hmm.
year is a bit like a preparation for the album and playing as much as live shows we
Okay.
can.
Okay. Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. Nice, nice about this topic. Now, talking about other kind of topics, and as you can see, a lot of reviewers try to put an attack or a label of the band. And usually, for me, you play like progressive metal band, or you are progressive metal band because you have a lot of textures in your music. It's not just only one. But other
Hmm.
kind of people say that in music you are playing post metal or this kind of stuff. So how do you label your band when you are creating the sound of the bipolar architecture?
Hmm. Yeah, it's a bit hard question because we have, as you say, lots of elements from like similar or different genres. I would say it's something around post metal, of course, because it's something post in the end. And yeah, but I don't care that much about this, like to label it, because it's the whole idea to blend, make a really nice blend of genres. So this will be the bipolar architecture sound in the end.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Other topic about this question about this new album. Well, the is for me is the cover art because it's interesting one
Hmm.
because you try to how this cover art means in general. So how do you
Yeah.
describe or relate the cover art with the music with the lyrics on it? What kind of concert this cover art brings to us?
Hmm. Yeah, for this artwork, we worked with Error from Spain, which he's working for really nice festivals or live shows before he made. And yeah, as you can see in the center of the artwork is the mind and brain. You would see, and then some circles around means like you're always in this vicious circle, but you're trying to go out. So to discover this, also with the compass, you can see you still need to find some things in the metaphysics world, let's say.
Hmm.
So all these things I think of when I look at it.
Okay, I understand. So I understand completely about this topic now. So, as a young band, what's inspired you to create new music and bet on a real releases in a digital age when where you have hundreds of bands releasing albums every weekend? So there's a lot of competition. So how do you feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel like do you have you to compete with a lot of bands?
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. Like if you want to make higher steps, like you need to be really good visually, productionally, like musically. Everything should be perfect so you can go out to that higher leagues and compete with the bands, of course, if that's the plan. But for me, it's I think the key for this is also the same thing, like to be unique, yeah, like to have your own thing, but not to copy of the others. Yeah, there are lots of bands, but some of them, for me, are copies of some of them. I think the key, the audience sees it, like if they see a unique band, I think, then it's easier.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one on the other hand, I imagine you must also mention sometimes that your sound is reminiscent of certain bands that may have inspired you. But you have
Yeah.
you ever been told that your sound has like a certain band when you really don't?
Yeah, of course, it reminds of other bands also. Like the creation part is like this: is you can't create something is not there for sure. Also, we are influenced by some bands. Sometimes we hear it depends. Like, but it's as I say, sometimes someone can reminds us to Tool. Someone can say a post black metal band. Because we have these layers in the music. It changes from who perceives what or which location you are. But in
Well,
the end, they find it unique, like that. I hear it also a lot. Like so, your sound is like a bit special to your band, which
okay.
makes me happy. That was the plan.
Okay, I understand and I understand. So now switching gears, there is a lot of talk these days about the advancement of artificial intelligence and how fast it has advancement that is being used the arts both on composing music
Mm.
and for the graphic art. So how do you see this from your perspective, and do you think in the future you will use it to compose, design a cover or video, or who knows, for example?
Yeah, I can't say for sure, but I won't do it like until I have to. That I can say. Like if you can't compete anymore with this, yeah, of course, then you need to adapt. But until I have to, I don't want to because this is different. It can be some good stuff coming out of this, of course. But I don't know. I see our music and visuals and everything a bit more, like manually made and more, I don't know. Authentic is better for me.
Hmm. Okay. 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 And well, talking about from the future, for example, tours, is there any possibilities of seeing you in Latin America in the future? Have you had the opportunity to listen to bands from this side of the world, and have you ever been told that your music reached this continent?
Yeah, I think for now we're a bit away from that. Like I don't know how much reach we have there. I mean, yeah, of course we plan to play everywhere. If there's an opportunity comes, then we will take it. I've listened to lots of bands, of course. Uh, but yeah, it's a bit far from us. Looks now.
Okay. Okay. So, now talking about other kind of topics, I saw that the band came has a lot, well, has a members from Turkey and Germany, and usually, well, the
Yeah.
band right, yes, the bands, well, the media try to relate that you are more international band than someone on, but from your perspective, from where is coming the band? Is a Turkey
Hmm.
band or is a Germany band? So how is where
Hmm.
where is especially this band came from?
Hmm. Yeah. Two members are from Turkey, including me, but living in Berlin. Everyone living in Berlin. Our guitarist is Greek and our bass player is German.
Well,
So it's like a nice combination, but we like it a lot. Like we have so much fun so far also. Yeah, but
ah,
of course the roots are Turkish. In the end, I started this, and then our drummer is also Turkish. Like all these feelings somehow, it's not just today. So we've been making music for 15, 20 years before, also in death metal bands, in black metal bands. The project is new, but
hmm.
the roots are Turkish, of course, of the band. If you,
Okay, okay. So we are close to end this interview, Sarp. And what for
Mhm.
this to finish this interview. So talking about now other kind of topics, especially as I mentioned it, there is a lot of releases. There is a lot of releases coming every weekend.
Yeah.
That's it, 30, 40, 50, I don't know. There is a lot. That's impossible to follow. Even we are media dedicated to the
Yeah.
metal or rock scene. It's very, very complicated to follow. So for this, how do you see this? How do you see these over releases over releases on the world every weekend? Is good? Is bad for the metal scene in general? For some people, thinks that this is bad because you don't have get attention for a lot of people. You have much to hear. That's impossible now. And for other people, it's good because the metal is open more doors to expand their style.
Hmm. Yeah, for the last sentence you say is important. Of course, there's more, and there will be attraction for more people for metal scene to be known.
Mhm.
Yeah, but for small bands, I don't know. It can be positive and negative at the same time. Of course, it's easier for them to reach also to places, but as you know, all the digital platforms, in the end, the algorithms work more for bigger bands. So it won't be easy until they come at a certain level. But there's a chance that's positive, at least.
Hmm. Okay, okay, interesting to know. And one of the last interviews, as you are a band that play progressive, you have a lot of technical into your music. That's completely normal because you blended
Mhm.
a lot of styles in your music: post metal, black metal, progressive, etc., etc., etc. So now, how do you this concept of the music when they say progressive technical death metal, or I don't know, a lot of things happen with the music. So as you can see, there is with this topic there is a lot now standardization with the music. When you hear now a band in the record, and the record is so standardization started, yes, so standardized, that is the music's not like organic way that it was in the 80s or the 90s for the technology now.
Mhm.
So, what is your perspective about this topic now? The music is has a lot of standardization. You can hear a good record from everywhere, but you don't feel the same
Yeah.
sensation of this organic part that the music has from the old days.
Yeah, this I agree with this for sure. I also I'm a fan for 90s and 2000s, so from this new metal era, and you had this feeling, the atmosphere in the album is even if it's not super production like these days you would call,
Mhm.
but still you have some atmosphere in the album that's unique for this band or for this album. Now everything is a bit similar, and it's a bit hard to compete if you are not also sounding like this a bit. So that's what we try to do is like make some hybrids, like still have all these accents with cymbals and drum feeling and the guitar still as much as they can be analog. So we make like a mix with all the new style, at least try to keep it with the old feeling and to create some atmosphere, you know. Otherwise it's all super digital and sounds just like the others.
Hmm. Okay, okay, I answer. Well, well, Sarp, we arrived to the same moment of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview like me. Thank you very much for this
Yeah,
interview. Your last album is a great one. We put a great score in our
thank you.
web. Congratulations on this one. I purchased. Well, I bought the album I had here in being in CD version. It's a great one. So perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously Metallium followers?
Yeah, it's like you in the end you all the territory is always in our plans. Okay, like faster we can get there, we want to get there because I know that you have a scene there and crowd for also for this kind of music.
Mhm.
So yeah, in future to see each other, hopefully.
Great.